Yo, what is the deal, everybody? What is the deal? Welcome to another Raider Nation Unlimited. I'm your man, Wasted Talent. Salute to everybody in the chat. Get wasted with your brother, Wasted. Share this thing out to all social media. This is a later night waste. Yes, the late night waste. We're on the East Coast. It is 8 o'clock. We normally are done cooking by this time. But you know what, man? Had some things I had to take care of. So we pushed the show. But we will be back at you tomorrow. We're going to do a doubleheader tomorrow. Little Raider Nation Unlimited, maybe a little early in the morning. And quite possibly a graph away show. Now, we don't cook unless it's over 100 in the room. And right now, we just hit over 100 in the room. Get wasted with your brother, Wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. There's so many things that we can go over today. So many things that we can go over today. Now, tomorrow, we're going to do a New Year's Eve show. You're not going to watch the ball drop with us. But, earlier in the day, we're going to give you guys a little content. And look, man, we've been talking about the inevitable, right? The Raiders are in a great situation, right? The Raiders now, after the loss of the Rams last night, have effectively secured one of the top 2 picks in the National Football League's draft. And I'm going to be real with you. Salute to my brother, Rudy the Vet Russo. Rudy, I was at the doctor this morning, bro. My bad, bro. I forgot to hit you when I got out the doctor, Rudy. My bad. But look, we are in a situation now where the Raiders are cooking with gas, right? Now, one of the main things that the Raiders need to happen is they need for Dante Moore to declare for the draft. And that's not something that is necessarily a slam dunk. We're going to start with the Fernando Mendoza, Dante Moore talk. It's not 100% slam dunk that, Dante Moore is going to, declare for the draft. And there's a huge reason. You guys got to realize who came out of the University of Oregon, who's the biggest booster for the University of Oregon. Listen, everybody in the chat, and I want to prove I have the smartest audience of Raider YouTube. Who do you guys think the biggest benefactor is at the University of Oregon? You got to let me know, because I'm going to tell you guys really quickly. Nobody said it. It is Phil Knight. And do you know who Phil Knight is? Phil Knight is one of the owners and proprietors of Nike. So there is a generational NIL deal waiting for Dante Moore to stay at Eugene. Salute to my guy Rudy Vet Russo and Jordy Robinson. Look, you guys already know. Look, Big Phil, and this is the thing. And from a money aspect, it might not be best for Dante Moore to come out of school. It might not be best because the amount of money that Phil Knight is going to offer that kid in NIL is going to be massive, right? And then also we have to look at this situation like this, right? If I'm Dante Moore, I want to go to the best chance for myself to be successful at the next level. And he might not necessarily fancy the situations here, right? Because the New York Giants, if they are the second pick, right? Because I'm claiming it, the Raiders will have the first pick, right? The New York Giants they're going to trade out of that. They have their quarterback, and if they have Jackson Dart. And would the New York Jets be the place for that man? I don't necessarily know. So basically, the top 2 is never going to be worth more than the kind of NIL deal that Dante Moore will get, man. I mean, listen, the kid is a young prospect. He does not have a lot of snaps, and his football future is really, really up in the air, right? It's really, really up in the air. Now, as the number 5 Ducks prepare to face Miami, right? And Texas Tech in a football round, you know, the team is trying to block out narratives, right? They're trying to block out narratives, and nobody's really talking about whether this kid is going to come back, right? But the thing is this for me, right? Dante Moore, from a physical standpoint, is ready for the National Football League, man. You know, and it's hard for me to even imagine him going back to college at this point, man. Everybody keeps asking him. He's not really answering just yet, right? And I think his heart and soul is focused on going and trying to win a natty. But just from a physical standpoint, the kid is ready to rock and roll, man. And the thing is, you don't get this many opportunities. Dante Moore going back to school and not coming out would be probably the difference between him being picked first or second or like fifth or sixth next year. Because we know next year is the year of Arch Manning, bro. This is the year of Arch Manning, man. This is the year of Arch Manning. And guess what? He's a great offensive line. You know, he has a shot to really win right now. But to me, I think Dante Moore would probably be crazy not to come out. Salute to my brother, Halo Raider, man. Salute to my brother, the great and all-powerful Wasted Talent. Appreciate you guys, man. And yes, Bodega Raider just got blocked before the show even started. That's a new record. That was the fastest blocking in the history of Raider Nation Unlimited. Everybody, please applaud the great and powerful Bodega Raider. He's a new Raider record of a blocking, man. Yo, happy New Year to my brother, LV Maximus, man. LV, we got to tap in, man. I ain't seen you all year, bro. So to me, right, and just like my man Tessier said, if Moore goes back, he might drop to the second round next year or worse if he gets injured. No, see, Tessier, that is a huge problem right there, right? Because I don't see any world where a kid that's that talented will go in the second round. But if he gets injured, that is a possibility, i.e. what happened to Drew Allar. So for me, right, and guys, make sure you pay your bar tabs, get wasted with your brother wasted. For me, man, I think this is really, really, really all about Fernando Mendoza versus Dante Moore, man. It really is, man. Now, there are some people that think that, you know, Dante Moore is the more talented prospect. And I spoke about this a little bit today on JT the Brick Show. Guys, do me a favor, go on over, hit the like, hit the subscribe, leave comments. You know, if you guys want to, go to the end of the show. I was on JT's show today. Salute to him. It's the last time for the season. Great time over there. And we broke it down on his show. So go on over there. Salute to my brother Graphic Raider, in the place to be as always, man. But when you start talking about these two prospects, because pretty much that is all we need to talk about at this point. It's all we need to talk about. The only thing that there is to talk about in Raider Nation is what's going to happen in the future, because Lord knows this season is over, is cooked. And the fact that the Raiders are in a conversation for a new quarterback is a great thing. Now, there are some people that, you know, are thinking that they're not sold, that the Raiders are 100% sold on Fernando Mendoza, right? And Albert Breer of Sports Illustrated on Monday said this. He goes, I am not 100% convinced it'll be Indiana's Fernando Mendoza, Breer said. He explained that Mendoza could have some competition in number one, depending on whether Dante Moore comes out. He says, I wouldn't say it would surprise me at all. He seems like a great kid and one you can bet on, Breer said, but I'm just so not sure at this juncture. He will go ahead of Dante Moore. Should Moore turn down whatever Phil Knight is offering him in Eugene. So, guys, I mean, listen, for me, I've been evaluating both of these guys, right? And, you know, for me, it's no question who I would pick, right? You know, I'm taking Fernando Mendoza 10 times out of 10, right? And this is my thought process behind that, right? It's the fact that the Raiders cannot afford a bust. And I think the bust potential for Dante Moore is grand. It is a lot wider than the bust potential for Fernando Mendoza. Now, some of you will say, yo, scared money don't make money. I beg to differ. I think the Raiders have to do what's best for this organization. We cannot afford another bust at quarterback. Now, when you start talking about the two guys and you start comparing them, right? Fernando Mendoza, for me, right? He's been a superstar this season, man. He's thrown for almost 3,000 yards, 33 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 240 rushing yards, 6 rushing touchdowns. Got the #1 seed in the college football playoff. Will face Alabama on January the 1st, man. He has a chance to really make it to the semifinals. And Mendoza has great size. He's listed at 6'5". He's 225 pounds. And he's, to me, widely considered the top quarterback in his draft, right? Dante Moore has got a lot of buzz this season, right? And, you know, he has only played in 13 games. He has 3,046 passing yards, 28 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 196 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. You know, he has solid size as well. He's 6'3", 206 pounds. But the thing with Moore is this, man. This was the first season in his college football career with over 10 starts under his belt. He's played in 5 games in 2024 and in 2023, man. And he's on the younger side. He's only 20 years old. And to me, Hammer brought up a great point when I start thinking about Dante Moore. I was talking to Hammer yesterday. Salute to the great and powerful Hammer. But Hammer brought this up. Hammer said, when I think Dante Moore, now that you brought this up, I think Mark Sanchez. And that scares the hell out of me. It scares the hell out of me, man. Hammer hit the nail on the head, no pun intended. It reminds me of Mark Sanchez. Salute to everybody in the chat. Get wasted with your brother wasted. My guy, most Raider. Dante Moore aligns more with the new age QBs that are having success in the league, able to create things, break down and make plays with his legs. More over Mendoza all day. Now, see, bro, I don't necessarily think Fernando Mendoza can't make plays with his legs. I mean, almost every highlight I see the guy, he's scrambling, moving around, and making plays with his legs as well. I mean, I don't see it that way. I don't see it that way, bro. I listen, and yo, salute to my brother Graphic Raider. Hey, Graph, if you still in the house, check it out. Yeah, bro. So you gotta say Mark Sanchez is a stretch. Listen, I really, really, really don't think so, because you got to look at it like this, right? And this is just, you know, from a perspective of how green he is, right? Mark Sanchez was a guy who did not have a whole lot of snaps under his belt when he came out. You know, Mark Sanchez was a kid who, you know, had all the physical tools, right? But he did not have a lot of snaps on his belt. Now let's talk about Mark Sanchez. Mark Sanchez was 6'2", about an inch shorter than Dante Moore, 227, right? And did not have a whole lot of snaps under his belt. He didn't have a whole lot. It's the same thing. When Mark Sanchez came out of the Pac-10, he was a 65.8% passer. He had 3,207 yards, 34 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Won a Rose Bowl game, surprisingly easy over Penn State. He had 413 yards, 4 touchdowns. This is pretty much Mark Sanchez, yo. This is pretty much. It was such a small sample size, bro. Mark Sanchez did not play a lot in college. Hammer hit that shit right on the head, and Mark Sanchez was taken in the first round, and he was the 5th pick in the draft. I mean, I haven't seen a better comparison damn near ever. It's the exact same college career. Salute to my brother, Rudy the Vet Russo, with the $5 slapperoonie, with the first super of the day. God, man. Didn't Indiana beat Oregon this year? I mean, look, Rudy, that has nothing to do with it to me. You know what I'm saying? It's a team victory, right? It's a team victory. That's the way I view it, right? Yo, my God. So get the F up out of here with that Knicks crap. Bruh, you listen. Hold on. Y'all got to chill with this. You get the F up out of here with your crap, Halo. This is not just a Knicks sweatshirt. Do you see who is on this Knicks sweatshirt? MF Doom. You see that? Come on, bro. Listen, the Raider drip god is the Knick drip god as well, yo. Jacob BPO3. That's disrespectful as F to Dante Moore, bro. Why is it? Listen, I personally think that is a damn good comparison. I'm not talking about from a play style. I'm talking about from how many starts that they've had in college. I mean, it's almost identical. 2 Pac-10 teams. I mean, my God. And I think you guys are thinking at it from that prism because of you saw Mark Sanchez's career. Now, you say that because of the way his career turned out in the end, but we forget Mark Sanchez was a kid who was in the AFC Championship game a few times. He had a very bright future in the NFL. And then the butt fumble came out and everything came crashing down. I mean, crashing down, man. Like, I mean, it's an explosion. It's unbelievable. Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to my guy, Bubba69 with the $5 slappy. Gino was definitely on his backside the last game by that solid D. Wow. That is very nasty work. You go wash your mouth out with soap. Yo, we got almost 400 in the room. Get wasted with your brother wasted. My guy, Raider Ghost. I still remember when Mark Sanchez cooked us and had a hot dog on the sideline. Raider Ghost, I know that's one of the things that pissed me off the most, man. He cooked us with the throwback unis on, too. Some of the ugliest throwbacks ever. The Knicks haven't won since you were born. No, they haven't won the chip. They haven't. They've been in the finals a few times since I've been born. I mean, look, Patrick Ewing was my guy when I was a kid. That's why I used to watch on MSG. Right after wrestling would go off, I watch the Knicks every night. Bernard King was my guy. I mean, with the F. Yeah, don't disrespect MF Doom, yo. Don't disrespect Doom, yo. Get the F up out of here. Oh, my God, man. Salute to y'all, man. Yo, Robert says the Knicks hoodie is worthless. I'll tell you what's worthless. That opinion, you effing bum. So, I mean, guys, look. Let me ask you guys a question. You guys really that are big Dante Moore people, it makes me wonder why. It makes me wonder why. It really is throwing me off. I don't understand why the Dante Moore hype when he really hasn't played a whole hell of a lot. He hasn't played a whole hell of a lot. I don't get it. I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. I mean, you start talking about Fernando Mendoza, man. I mean, my God. I mean, one of the safest picks I think that there is. And a lot of people are very against taking Fernando Mendoza because they're saying, oh, wait, hold on. He's a cornball. He doesn't represent the Raiders. Like, what the F are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? Yo, my guy, John Bailey II. Mendoza impressed me by realizing he had serious flaws. He went out of his way to study up and fix them. He totally stepped his game up. And, bro, to me, that is the things that you cannot see that makes a quarterback great. That is the thing that you cannot see that makes a quarterback great, and that makes me buy in. The talent is a great thing, but the will to win, the will to, have the intestinal fortitude to work on your game is what made Tom Brady what he was. Tom Brady wasn't a ready-made product. He worked himself into what player he became. That is what I want to see from my quarterback. Oregon has historically had better QBs with more success in the NFL. Bro, that's Indiana really hasn't had many, successful players come out of Indiana and play, as quarterbacks. So that's not really a great comparison. Oregon is, a blue chip kind of a program. I mean, you have Mariota and you have, Bo Nix. You know what I'm saying? You have Justin Herbert, of course. But to me, I scout the player, not the helmet. I scout the player, not the helmet, bro. You know, what happened in a previous regime of Oregon has very little to do with my thought process on who's going to be the better player. I mean, if I'm being honest here, Mendoza came from Cal. I know Cal created a great quarterback. Yeah, and that's true. That is definitely true, man. Oregon has had way more busts in the NFL than hits at QB. I mean, look, I don't think Mariota's a bust. Bo Nix is not a bust, and Justin Herbert isn't a bust. That's as far as I'm going to go back with the University of Oregon. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's not how I freaking view it, man. Raider Reaper says, I'll crash out beyond recognition if we don't pick Mendoza. See, to me, I don't view it that way. I want the Raiders to take whoever they feel like is the guy, and I want them to put all their energy into building around the kid to make them successful, no matter who it is. Because at the end of the day, there's very little that separates a lot of these guys. It's all people, places, and things. What's the best situation for these guys? My guy, Classman Q, I think it is because he sat behind Dylan when he could have went somewhere else to start. But he took a year off to work on his skill set, et cetera, et cetera. You know, look, and also, listen, Dylan Gabriel was a guy that took a lot of snaps. He was ready to rock and roll. So you're there, you know, and you have Bo Nix, then you go from Bo Nix to Dylan Gabriel into now him. You know, that's what happens when you had a big-time program. You have that kind of attrition. That's the allure to going to an Oregon. That's the allure. I mean, hell, Arch Manning sat behind Quinn Ewers. Demon King, my brother, Jason. He goes, I don't understand how anyone reminds them of Lance. He played one game COVID year. LOL. Can't say after one game from Lance. Yeah, Trey Lance, that's a whole different scenario right there, my brother. The whole scenario is crazy, bro. Now, he is spitting. Cal produced Goff, Rodgers, developed Mendoza. The current freshman QB looks like a first-round pick in the draft, and that's facts. No, Cal has a great program. A great program, man. Yeah, Demon King. See, you going back to Joey Harrington and Achilles Smith, that's 20 years ago, bro. I'm not going back that far. Andy coming in to rain on everybody's parade. Andy with his crap every damn time with your crap, Andy. I mean, what the F, man? He goes, I am not impressed with Dante Moore or Simpson at all. Mendoza has everything to be Herbert/Goff caliber player. Just my and Andy, I completely agree with you. So Andy, let me change that. Change that. Salute to Andy. Yeah, Mendoza's my guy, man. Mendoza is definitely my guy, man. So salute to everybody in the chat. Get wasted with your brother wasted, man. Look, we're gonna go over the Raiders news cycle. We're gonna break a little of his Chief game down. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Bodega Raider too. He broke a Raider Nation Unlimited record. He has probably the fastest blocking in the history of Raider Nation Unlimited, man. Oh my God, man. Salute to everybody in the chat too. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Yo, my guy Apocalypse with the $5 slappy. If you can listen to that Heisman speech and still tell yourself he's not worth our pick, then I don't know. Besides, he passes the eyeball test on the field. My God, man. Rudy Yvette Russo is in a place to be, man. So, guys, somebody had asked me about the Raiders, how many picks the Raiders have. And I think that's something that we need to share with the nation right now, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. So, as of right now, we have the first round pick. We traded our second round pick. Who do we trade our second? What do we trade our second round for? Do we trade our second rounder for Geno? Wow, do we not have a second round pick? No fucking way. We don't have a second rounder. So it's round 1, round 3, round 4, 5, 6. Oh no, we got a round. No, I'm tripping. I ain't see that. So how many picks we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh shit, we got 4, 2, 4, 3 fourth round picks. Sheesh. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 10 picks in this upcoming draft, everybody. 10 picks. I was about to lose my shit too. I was like, we didn't trade our second round pick. Yo, salute to everybody. Salute to my guy Alpocalypse too, man, for keeping the lights on here at Raider Nation Unlimited, man. We got 10 picks, man. Salute to everybody in the chat, yo. Wasted the GOAT. Appreciate you, my brother, and appreciate you being a member for 14 months, man. Appreciate you. My guy Demon King with the $5 slapper room. Trade down, build, and go draft CJ Carr next season. Sorry, I'm biased. Oh, look, Demon King, you got to chill, bro. We need a quarterback right now. I'm sick of everybody playing Madden football. Jason, you know better than that, bro. We need our quarterback now. We need him now, goddammit. We need somebody. We need our version of the triplets. We got Brock. We got Ashton Genty. Yo, it's time to cook, man. It's time to cook, man. It's time to cook. We need our guy right now. I am not waiting any effing more, man. It's been 20 years, man. I'm not waiting no more, bro. CJ Carr's good and all of that, but nah, man. I'd rather get the Heisman winner and everything, man. And yo, today is crazy, man. You know, Chip Kelly landed a job at Northwestern. Salute to Chip Kelly, man. Salute to Chip Doughface Kelly. What an effing bum. And yo, you know what, man? I wanted to say something too, man. Salute to Pete Carroll, man. You know, he sounded a little dejected today at the press conference. We don't know what Pete Carroll's future is, but what I will say is this. This has not been a good season for Pete Carroll. This hasn't been a good season for the Raiders. It hasn't been something that I expected at all. But I think that Pete Carroll really should get a lot of grace from Raider Nation, man. I think he's been a gentleman the whole time. He tried his best, and I think that Pete's probably not going to be brought back, if I'm being honest. But salute to Pete Carroll. I have no animus towards Pete. It's not the same way I felt about Josh McDaniels, where I just wanted him gone and stuff like that. I think the entire staff needs to be cleaned out. I think this needs to be John Spytek's show. And it has nothing to do with Pete. I just think it's just a bad marriage. I think it would be a bad marriage to draft a quarterback that's in his early 20s and bring him in under a 74-year-old coach. I think the metric should be that when you draft a player and the play caller that you bring in and the coaching staff you bring in, you want to marry that situation together for the next 5 to 10 years. Seriously. And that's Pete just got caught up in the mix, man. Salute to Pete Carroll. He hasn't been fired yet, but I don't see him making it out of Black Monday, man. I really don't, man. I don't see him making it out of Black Monday, man. Salute to my brother UA Mel in the place, man. Yes. Word on the street is Spytek didn't want Genty. That bum. Pete made that pick. It said that Spytek wanted Mimbu. Let's effing go, Spytek. Well, look, UA. This is the thing. The good thing is that, you know, you being the chubby chaser that you are, you love an offensive line play, you're going to get that in spades because John Spytek, you know, if we're being honest, man, John Spytek, even this year's draft, right? He did a hell of a job, man. I think that Caleb Rogers has a bright future. A bright future, bro. I can't be mad at anything that happened this year, you know, with Caleb Rogers, and I damn sure can't be mad at what I seen from freaking Charles Grant. I mean, Charles Grant put together some very elite tape, and I don't know if you guys got a chance to peep some of what Charles Grant put down, man. Man, Charles Grant he looked great this weekend, man. He really did, man. Charles, I mean, I don't know. Did any of you guys see some of that Charles Grant tape? Did any of you guys see any of that Charles Grant tape this weekend, man? Charles Grant played freaking phenomenal, bro. He should have been playing, the whole time, bro. Should have been playing the whole time, man. There were some reps where he dominated guys that are superstars in this league, like Jalen Phillips, man. I mean, he looked great, man. He looked great. I just can't understand. And some people will follow it and say he was being developed. But at the end of the day, man, I'm tired of players. And Lincoln Kennedy spoke on this earlier, man. And I agree. I am tired of us picking players and having to develop them without them being on the field. I want my players to come in and start. I mean, my God. I'm over us picking all these guys that are gonna be good in 2 or 3 years. I'm over it, man. I'm freaking over it, man. Yo, salute to my guy, Corey Yaheen Fitness. Moore's numbers not off from Mendoza's. Mendoza's Heisman is overrated. He has mid numbers compared to the past QBs that won the award. Moore has way less experience and put up almost identical numbers. But conversely, Corey Yaheen Fitness, Fernando Mendoza doesn't have as much talent around him. This is the Oregon Ducks we're talking about here, man. It's a football factory. That's one of the biggest programs in the country. So he has better skill position players, and he has a hell of an offensive line at Oregon. A hell of an offensive line. Fernando Mendoza might not be playing with, he might only be playing with 2 or 3 guys that might make it to the pros, where you got, probably 12 pros on Oregon. I don't agree, man. I think that's a pretty poor assessment, if we're being honest. That's a very poor assessment. Salute to everybody in the chat. Get wasted with your brother wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And salute to my oldest daughter, man. She is riding solo with me. She's going to bring me my glasses. I don't know where the hell they are. But salute, y'all. Yo, my guy, Mr. Burton, is in the place. Yo, wait, I'm sorry I missed a few video. Now, let's get to business right now. If you can, your favorite coach right now on QB, who's your pick? He said Plainfield over everybody. Salute to my guy, Mr. Burton. Well, guys, it's Fernando Mendoza and there's everyone else. And to me, it's either LaFleur or Shula. I want somebody from the Sean McVay coaching tree because, and I would probably lean towards Shula because I know Shula is a defensive-minded head coach. But with that, he could possibly bring another bright offensive mind along with him, and then I'll have that particular defensive mind, right? So he can bring in more of that Sean McVay magic to the Raiders. And I think the Raiders need that in space. Salute to my brother John Bailey, becoming a YouTube member. Get wasted with your brother wasted. Appreciate you, man. But UA Mel has been staunchly against, the Ashton Genty pick. I don't listen. I like Genty. I think it was a good pick. But we got to get into that, man. There are a lot of people that are saying that, John Spytek and Pete Carroll were not on the same page when it came to that pick. Now, we've heard John Spytek. John Spytek spoke about, his kid and, and all of this other stuff. They are saying that, Pete Carroll and John Spytek were not on the same page with the Ashton Genty pick. They're saying that, John Spytek wanted to take Armin Mimble. And listen, if he did, he did, right? And Armin Mimble is a beast, and he's looking like a guy that's going to hold down that side for years to come. But what I will say is this: I think therein lies the problem. Where you have a GM that doesn't have the autonomy to take the player that he sees fit, that is a huge, huge problem for the Raiders, man. It's a huge, huge problem for the Raiders, man. But look, I think that when we look back on this Ashton Genty pick, especially next year, we are going to be happy with that pick, bro. We're going to be happy with that pick because, if we're being honest, Armin Mimble has played terrific for the Jets. But how many wins has that equated to? It means nothing. I don't think you could have went wrong with either one of these guys. I really don't. I don't think you could have went wrong with either one of these guys, man. And like Silver and Black Nation said, the whole league leans on offense. Look, I think Genty could have went if he just had if he could have had a full season of JPJ and Cole Miller, I think Genty would have definitely went over 1,200 yards, man. He definitely could have went over 1,200 yards, man. Like, honestly, if we drafted Mimbu, we would have won meaningless games and wouldn't have got Mendoza or Moore. I don't know if we would have won more games, bro. I don't necessarily know that. And then the thing is, would Pete have even started the freaking kid? Look, I have full faith that next year Genty will get over 1,300 yards and 10 touchdowns. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, man. I love Genty, man. I think a lot of y'all are tripping, bro. I love Ashton Genty, man. Salute to my guy Gamer Realm. Wasted for head coach 2026. And you get the F up out of here, UA Mel. You get the F up out of here with your crap. Stop your nonsense. Jamba Juice. Yeah, but you're also a Knickerbocker fan. You get the F up out of here with your crap. You don't worry about my fandom in basketball, man. Telling you right now. So, guys, look, let's get into a little Raider news, man. I mean, Pete Carroll, man, was he sat up there like a man. He answered all of the questions, man. But he really seemed really dejected today, man. People have been asking him about tanking, and guys, listen, there's a thin line, like I said in the beginning of the show, between tanking and just pure incompetence. Like, the Raiders are not tanking. It's just a really bad team. And it would be incompetent for the Raiders to take some of their best assets who have some injuries and play them in meaningless games. It is better to start the road to recovery so they can be 100% next year as soon as possible. The Raiders front office made the right move, and I hope that they continue to make the right move. I hope that, they sit out Geno Smith. I hope they do. I think, Geno, you want to get him healthy as possible so you can move him in the offseason. I think that they need to protect Ashton Genty from himself if he's dinged up. And they need to just sit anybody who has any injury and get them going right in the right direction. That's what I really think, man. I mean, so, Pete Carroll is not acting very confident about his future, man. And it didn't seem like he was acting confident today, man. I mean, Carroll had asked the exact question today during his press conference. And he answered, first a reporter asked Pete Carroll if he felt like he still had the support of ownership despite the kind of season that they put together. And he said, from all the guys I've talked to, I do feel like I have their support, Carroll said. He goes, what does this mean? I don't know. But our conversations have been really good. But there was an obvious follow-up question that Carroll was asked. And then based on those conversations he had, what the offense's the front office's confidence level was and whether he'll be back in silver and black next season, he says, I have no comment to make about that, Carroll said. He goes, we're getting along great. We're communicating really, really well. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Now, to me, right, I feel like if the Raiders were going to bring Pete Carroll back, they would have already come out and given him the nod. They would have given him the rub, pause if necessary, and that has not happened yet. And I think the Raiders are going to move on from Pete Carroll, man, if I'm being honest, man. Why not Kevin Stefanski as head coach? Because Kevin Stefanski is a fucking terrible head coach. He's a terrible head coach, man. Kevin Stefanski, bro. Like, I don't understand why that would even be something that you would even want. Why would that be something that you would even want, man? Like, Kevin Stefanski is 44-56 in the regular season. 1-2 in the postseason. I'm not a Kevin Stefanski dude, man. I'm not, man. I'm sorry. Like let's go back right now. Kevin Stefanski in 2020 he had 11-5 season. He had an 8-9 season in Cleveland, 7-10. Damn, they were 11-6. So I you know what? Look, I stand corrected. Kevin Stefanski has not been terrible, man. He has not been terrible. Wow. And it start kind of going off the rails last season. 3-14, 4-12. Wow. But, you know, I mean, look, maybe, I don't know, man. Maybe. I'm not a big Kevin Stefanski guy. And a lot of it is the way he's handled Shedeur Sanders, if I'm being honest. Yeah, my guy Corey Yaheen with the $10 slap a room. Thank you guys for keeping the lights on here, too. You're wrong about Indiana not having talent. That's a lazy assessment. Mendoza was on a less talented team at Cal. They went 6-6. Indiana has an NFL receiver, very talented defense. I don't think that's a lazy assessment. What I said is that Indiana historically has not had the same level of talent, and they still don't have the same level of talent as Oregon does. They don't. Oregon has a bunch of guys that are going to go to the NFL. How many of these Indiana guys, besides the wide receiver, Mendoza, and like 2 players on the defense, do you see going to the National Football League? I don't see a whole lot of pros. I don't. I mean, am I wrong? I mean, chat, y'all tell me if I'm wrong about Indiana, man. Yeah, it's stacked for Indiana. It's not stacked for Alabama. It's not stacked for Clemson. It's not stacked for Texas. It's stacked for Indiana. Listen, I see 4 slam dunk pros. They have a mean defense, but I see 4 pros. I don't see guys that I know for a fact are going to the NFL. I think it's a very good college football team. It's a very good coach over there. It's a very good program over there. But I don't see a bunch of pros over there. DeMokes, guess what? Welcome to the gulags, my brother. The F up out of here. And natural immunity, that's stone cold lead pipe effing fact right there. Indiana was coached to their position. They didn't get there with talent. You know what I mean, it's been hitting on something prolific all damn night. I mean, my God, man. My God, the great and powerful UA Mel. The problem with the defensive-minded coach is you will always lose your OC if he's any good. It's much easier to find a DC than a good OC. A rare, UA Mel, that is a great assessment, bro. That is a great assessment. That's a great assessment. And right now, we're seeing that even though we don't have a defensive-minded head coach in Detroit, right? I think Ben Johnson kind of, cut the magic out of Detroit. I think Dan Campbell he's not a defensive-minded head coach because Dan Campbell was a tight end in the National Football League, right? And he's had a lot of different positions. But Dan Campbell being the motivator and the CEO kind of head coach that he is, losing Ben Johnson has hurt him a lot this year, man. So when you have a play caller like an Andy Reid that is the head coach, you pretty much know that the offense is solidified the whole time that they're there for the most part, man. So salute to my guy, F. Salute to UA Mel has been cooking with gas, man. I gotta say that is the comment of the day, everybody. UA Mel is out here cooking, man. Salute to UA L Rel Mel. Salute. My guy, Turin, 24. I just want to find the right guy. Don't care if he's an offensive guy or defensive guy. Look at D'Amico Ryans. No, that's facts, bro. That is a fact, yo. Yo, Rudy Veruso. If Indiana was so stacked, how come they are not and have not been the favorites all year? not devoid of talent, not a top-notch football program either. And that's pretty much, that's pretty much my assessment of this situation. You know what I'm saying? Randall Kilgore, UAML, that's a great point. Thought the team is led by a leader, and whatever side of the ball they specialize is just part of the recipe. But you got to admit, having very coherent and great coordinators are a part of the recipe as well. Like it's not an accident when you see, a great leader and head coach have one side of the football that is very, very dominant. Now, I think that there are some coaches in this league, i.e. John Harbaugh. I think John Harbaugh is very coordinator dependent. I think he's very coordinator dependent. I think that Mike Tomlin has been very coordinator dependent. I think the Steelers have not been the same since Dick LeBeau has not been there. Steelers ain't been the same since. So UAML is cooking with gas, man. My guy, Jeff Matthews, you're right. IU is a bunch of James Madison boys that the coach brought with him. I listen, and this is what I know, man. This is what I know. Raider 007, you will talk your way out of Mendoza if you ever compare him to DC pre or post injury. Fernando was different. Watch the tape. Play better comp. Fernando is better than Derek Carr as a prospect to me because of the size, height, weight, speed. We're Al Davis guys, aren't we? Most of us are Al Davis guys. Height, weight, speed. Sorry. If you get a defensive coach, you got to luck up and get a OC like Josh McDaniel who ain't going nowhere. Who we'd have to get Dayball. See, this is the thing, bro. Dayball is a guy that it's not like he's unhireable. All Dayball has to do is get his hands on an offense, especially whomever comes in here and turns this Raider offense and defense around is going to be a head coach because it's been such a bad situation for so long. I think that it is going to be highlighted just that much more if the Raiders can bring somebody in that can turn this thing around. It'll be highlighted that much more, man. Being a great play caller, O or D, doesn't mean you're going to be a great head coach and leader of men. McDaniel's a prime example, and that's very valid. Allard and Nussmeier, I think Allard because of the measurables, Nussmeier from above the shoulders because he's a head coach's kid. He sees and reads defense as well. Nussmeier is a guy that if he comes out this year, I think teams are going to be pleasantly surprised with him. He is a guy that I think is going to translate well to the National Football League. He's just not a guy that I would draft first overall. He goes, Dayball's a great OC, terrible head coach, just like McDick. You see, the thing with the New York Giants is the only thing that's for sure is nothing is for sure. There's a lot of pressure that gets put on coaches in New York City. Like you already got a bunch of people calling for the head of Aaron Glenn in his first season when he's trying to establish his program because they don't like the fact that he doesn't shuck and jive for the media in New York. It's crazy. I would never fire Aaron Glenn being that young of a head coach in his first year. I'm sorry. Now, there were a lot of people talking about signing Malik Willis, man, and I like Malik Willis. I like Malik Willis when he came out of Liberty, right? But I'm done with having Band-Aid coaches. I mean, coaches, Band-Aid quarterbacks, everything. The only way I sign Malik Willis if he's available and we have our first-round pick and we have our Fernando Mendoza, and he can start in the beginning of the season, and then Mendoza can do it later. What directions are we going with the linebackers and cornerbacks? Look, I think the Raiders are going to fill those rooms in heavily with, free agency. I mean, the Raiders are in a situation where they're going to have to probably replace over 20 players on this roster. Over 20 players, man. Catherine Oliver. Talking DC, OC and DC is premature. We need a president of football to call the shots. Spy hired a coach. Coach hires his staff. We have to stop doing things ass backwards. And I totally agree. But the football of operations thing, I think is more so giving John Spytek autonomy over everything. So the page that we're on will be his page. Having a president of football operations, bro, it's not something that is like that is really, really needed if you have a great GM who hires his coach and the coach hires his staff and they make the right hire. You don't the president of football operations really essentially the de facto guy is probably fucking Brady, but Brady can never say that he's the de facto president of the team because he'd lose $370 million. Like his stake in the Raiders ain't worth $370 million to him yet. So Tom Brady is on some sneaky peek president of football operations shit. And I'm sure the league probably tries to monitor it. I mean, but if you want a president of football operations, Tom Brady with this like ambiguous title is essentially the football operations guy. And I think the NFL knows it, but I think what the NFL is doing is they're looking the other way and they're putting those fires out in the media because they want one of the great players to ever play this game to be part of the league in a real way. Turn 24. If Brady is going to be president of football operations, his ass needs to be in the building all the time, in or out, knowing between Turin. I've been saying that for months, bro. You preaching to the choir with that, my brother. You are preaching to the choir with that. You preaching to the choir with that. But you know what? I think the Raiders have to definitely mitigate what's going on, man. And guys, look. So the Raiders versus Chiefs, right? Let's get into that. We're gonna get out of here. And tomorrow there's gonna be a Graph and Wasted show. We're gonna have that going, But let's really break this down, right? The unofficial depth chart for the Raiders right now. You got, Tyler Lockett, Dante Thornton Jr., Alex Bachman. Left tackle, you got Stone Forsythe. You got Charles Grant backing him up. Left guard, Dylan Parham will be back. Center is going to be Alex Kappa. Right guard is going to be Caleb. And right tackle is going to be DJ Glaze. Ian Thomas is starting at tight end with Michael Mayer. Trey Tucker, Jack Best, Cedric Jackson, Geno Smith, Kenny Pickett. Possibly, we don't know what's up with Geno. Ashton Genty, Zamir White, or Raheem Mostert, right? And, Tyree Wilson's balling. Thomas Booker's going to be balling. Adam Butler, Tonka Hemingway is going to be active. Jamal Adams will be active. Malcolm Kuntz, E-Rob, Tommy Eichenberg and Cody Lindenberg, Devin White, Darnay Holmes, Greedy Vance, Darian Porter, Eric Stokes, Isaiah Palmau, Lonnie Johnson, and Terrell Edmonds, Tristan McCollum, D. Cameron Richardson, and Chigozie and Newsium are all going to be ready to rock and roll. And of course, you got AJ Cole, Daniel Carlson, and Jake Bobenmeyer ready to rock and roll. So that is your unofficial Raider depth chart. And we got to see exactly what's going on, man. Hug D's, my brother Wasted, as always. Thanks for coming and giving us this old man, some of that fire content. Happy New Year's, my brother, and all the love to you and your fam. 2026 is our year, bro. Personally, Swole Nation. My dog, Hug D's, man. Hug Dizzle is always in the place representing, keeping the lights on here. Yo, Happy New Year to everybody, too, man. Because, this is going to be our year, Raider Nation. I'm sorry, man. I'm claiming it right now, yo. I'm claiming it, yo. I'm claiming it. And John, he has 375 minutes there. Listen, Tom Brady is out of the office, but he's in the office. He got his eyes and ears all around there. Who do I want as head coach? We already went over this, but I told you either Shula or LaFleur. Shula or LaFleur for me. And then third on my list is Jesse Minter. But yo, Kansas City's defense is a hell of a defense. You know what I mean? He goes, for the love of God, Pete, can we please start Grant? I mean, do you really want to start him now? Or do you want to see Stone Foreskin keep fucking up? Most of us want the number one pick, man. How many coaches are we still paying? Well, we're still paying Josh McDoucher. We got done paying Grew. We're paying Antonio Pierce, right? And we're paying Pete Carroll. So there you go, man. But it's not our money. I'm not worried about it. That's Mark Davis's money. He's the one who keeps hiring people like this, and you reap what you sow. If there's been any criticism that I've had of Mark Davis, it is the way that he hires the coaches. Yeah, Bobby Slowick is a damn good offensive coordinator. I would love to have him. Chris Jones versus our O-line is going to eat. Yeah, man, he is. If they play him, though, right? Because you know that the Kansas City Chiefs want to move up high enough to select Jeremiah Love. They want to put they need to get a running game rolling, man. Yeah, Sloak is the offensive coordinator for the Texans. I love Bobby Sloak. I don't think he's going to make a lateral move. I think once he leaves the Texans, he's going to be a head coach. For real, man. For real. Salute to Hug D's with the goated avatar picture, y'all. And they're probably going to sit Chris Jones. The Kansas City Chiefs are in Operation Tank 2 right now. You know, people say people like Flores too. Flores is the guy that's on my list. I like Flores, man. Yo, listen, you know what's crazy, y'all? There are a lot of people out here who are complaining and they are talking about the greatness of my mock drafts. And I am going to tell you guys something, man. You guys are going to sit here and you are going to watch the greatness that is a wasted talent mock draft on the way out. And you're going to effing like it, you bunch of effing bums. If you don't effing like it, then I don't effing care. Tell you that right now. I'm going to tell you that right now. I am going to tell you that right effing now. The Raiders are on the effing clock. We are going 7 whole rounds, and we are going to start this effing draft. Whether you like it or effing not, you bunch of effing bums. Fernando Mendoza, like your life to effing pendant on it. I mean, my God. And you guys, listen, let me tell you something. You don't like it, who the F cares? You don't like it, who cares? Now, look, I didn't even show you guys. I'm going to show you right effing now. The mock draft is up. It's cooking. Whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not. Learn to live with it because it's the best thing going today. It is the best thing going today. Salute to my brother, Raider Jeff, gifting 5 Raider Nation Unlimited Wasted Talent memberships. It is the best thing going today. Now, listen. We got Olivia Vega, I own. The 23 ranked guard. He's the best guy on the board. We got CJ Allen, who is a beast. LT Overton, great young tackle. Great young tackle. But right now, listen, we can do BPA. We could do BPA. Now, when you talk about Colton Hood, right? Colton Hood is a guy that might go pretty high in this draft, man. You know, he is 6 foot, 195 pounds. You know, when you start talking about, you know, his scouting report, he is probably the 3rd ranked corner in the draft board right now for me. He's the 3rd ranked corner on my draft board, man. You know, you got Jamad McCoy from Tennessee. You got Mansour Delaney, and then you got Hood. Some people got Terrell over him, but to me, Colton Hood is the 3rd ranked guy in this draft class. So we have an issue in the defense, right? And I think we need to improve this defense, right? So listen, if we're being honest here, bro, if we're being honest, yo, I am gonna go out here and I'm gonna draft a cornerback. We're drafting Colton Hood. We're drafting Colton Hood, man. Now, look, I'm going to be real with you. Now, there's a lot of people that will say to me, look, Ashton Genty was a bit of a reach. You know, he's not that great. But what we definitely need is another backup to help him. And Jadarian Price is one of the best running backs in this draft. In the 3rd round, we're going to go Jadarian Price. to back up Ashton Genty. Now, listen, now we can start addressing a lot of what's going on, up front. Now, Isaiah World is a guy that I love. We got Malachi Fields here too, which is a hard. This is a hard, because me, liking the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, hard for me to turn off. But we have to protect our quarterback. We're gonna go and draft a tackle of the future in Isaiah World. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think that's nothing but right. So now we got a new quarterback. We need someone to throw to. We have to improve this offense. Zachary Branch, great young wide receiver, man. Great young wide receiver out of University of Georgia. We're going to go Zachary Branch. Drew Allard still here. Now, let me ask you guys a question, man. Drew Allard, Fernando Mendoza, either which way, you can't go wrong. Getting Drew Allard in this round, addressing the quarterback in the real way, is the smartest thing the Raiders can do, because we got a couple of fourth-round picks. We got a couple of fourth-down picks, man. We got a couple of fourth-round picks, man. We also need to go defense. Malachi Lawrence out of UCF, very talented young edge rusher. Right, we're going to start loading up. We're going to start loading the F up, man. Start loading up. Now, when you start talking about Parker Belsford, right, if we are going under, if we're going under the assumption that, JPJ is gonna go back to being a guard, then we're gonna have to start thinking about, who is going to be center, right? We got Alex Kappa as center. We got Alex Kappa as center, man. So we have to really, really talk about Parker Brailsford right now. He's at Alabama. He's 6'2", he's 290. He's a junior. A lot of people have him ranked as the third center in this draft. Jake Slaughter's the best center in this draft, right? And then you got Connor Lew. But Parker Brailsford is the third best center in this draft. And what we're going to do is we're going to address this offensive line in a real way. We're going to go get our center of the future in Parker Brailsford. Late in the draft. I think this was a great draft. This was a great draft to me. We got a wide we got a wide receiver. We got a backup running back. We got a tackle of the future. We got a center of the future. We have a edge rusher that probably could start. We got a starting corner and a starting quarterback and a backup quarterback, and they can compete. I mean, what do y'all think? F minus? You guys can. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. C plus, unreal. I mean, how do you guys not like this draft? I mean, F all of you guys.
Gorilla looking smelly bitch. Motherfucker, you got me fucked up.
F every single one of you guys in here. F every single one of you. I mean, that's a damn good draft, you bunch of bums. Oh, Lawrence, listen, you don't quit your day job, you effing bum. It's a great effing draft. C plus at best. Butter, man, you get the F up out of here. Looking like a goddamn looking like Clayface from Batman. Salute to my guy, Butter. Y'all know y'all love it, man. Y'all love it. The F up out of here, man. You know what we're going to do? We're going to run another mock draft. And we don't give a damn whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not, learn to live with it, because it's also the best thing going today, God damn it. We starting the draft again, you bunch of effing bums. We're starting the draft again. All right, let me ask you guys a question, right? We got the number one pick. We got the number one pick. Let's see what trades are on the board. Let's see what trades are on the board. Let me see about this trade. Hold up. I'm trying to see what they got here. Resume draft. So we're on the clock. We are on the clock. We traded down. We traded down, y'all. And we are going to take Dante Moore. We are taking Dante Moore, everybody. Salute to everybody in the draft, right? So, guys, listen. We got a situation right now where you have a edge in TJ Parker that there are a lot of people love, right? Right. So we got our quarterback of the future. TJ Parker is a beast, right? I'm gonna be real with you. You know I got more picks, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draft my edge. I am going to draft my edge, everybody. And I'm gonna get myself my tackle. Now the question is, who do you like better? You like Dunker or do you like LT Overton? Right? I'm gonna take Overton. We got our left tackle. We got the best center in the draft in Connor Lew. Right? Now, this is the thing. Jadarian Price is available again. Right? Jacoby Lane is a guy that a lot of people think is one of the best wide receivers in this draft, right? But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take Dominique Orange because he's a big defensive tackle. You know what I'm saying? My God, man. My God. My God, man. Tyleek Sapp at edge. We already took our edge. Antonio Williams. D'Angelo Pons is a beast. We're going to take D'Angelo Pons. Boubacar. Wait, hold up. DJ Campbell. I'm gonna go out there, and I think we need to address this safety room. We need to address this safety room, right? So for me, man, see, it's rough for me. Guys, let me ask you guys a question. Everybody in the chat, what direction do you think we should go? What direction do you guys think we should go? The middle of the field is wide open. What do you guys think, man? What do you guys think, man? I went and I drafted, and I think I'm taking Tappy. I need a safety. I need a safety, y'all. I need a safety. And guess what? We're gonna go and we're gonna double up on edge rusher. Logan Jones, boom. DJ McKinney, beast. I mean, to be real with you guys, I really I want to see, you know, where we are, you know, as far as wide receiver, right? I like Michael Sturtz. Hold up. Let me look here. Trinidad Chambliss, Kobe Baines. I'm gonna go Kobe Baines. I'm gonna draft another guard. I think we need to double, triple. Look, and for me, right? Look, we haven't drafted any linebackers, right? I'm gonna go Aiden Fisher, and I know I like Aiden Fisher. He's a young But see, man, Zane Durant. I wonder if Zane Durant's going to be around. You know what I'm going to do, man? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to draft Aiden Fisher, bro. I think our linebacker room's got to get a little better, man. I'm sorry, man. I think this was a damn good draft, man. I think this is a damn good draft, man. I don't care what you effing bums say. Last why. A-Cove, T linebacker is the second most important thing. I mean, look, I went out there. I got us a linebacker, bro. I like Zane Durant, though. I always take Zane Durant. I want to do something different, yo. I mean, what do you guys think? No kicker, F-. Man, get the F up out of here. Back-to-back, and you damn right. Yo, and you know why I got back-to-back edge rushers? You don't know. Maxx, the way things are going with Maxx, you don't know. The Raiders might move Maxx. And then if they keep Maxx, you're probably going to lose Tyree Wilson, who hasn't been effective, and there's no metric to where, it makes sense to bring about Malcolm Koonce. Yeah, I went back-to-back. You damn right. So, yo, listen, I got a quarterback, edge rusher, center. I got a fucking nose tackle, a corner, a safety, another edge, a guard, and a linebacker. I mean, that's a solid draft, man. Listen, I think it's time for us to wheel the train back into the train station. Anthony, you are a bum. Get the F up out of here, man. The F up out of here, yo. This is a great draft. No one gives a F what you guys are talking about. You get the F up out of here with your crap. You guys love this draft, and you know it. You bunch of effing bums. I mean, my God, man. Last time I've been a member for 25 months. I had to send a super, bro. Let the Browns breathe. You get the F up out of here. Let the Hodgins go, wasted. You don't have to do this. The most F minus. Yo, my guy Bubba. What the F is these? Mike and Michael Blackson voice. But get the F up out of here. Guys, listen, man. You guys have a terrific night, man. This has been a most splendiferous occasion. I really, really appreciate you guys for pulling up, man, this late, man. This is always a great splendiferous occasion. Tomorrow, we're going to do probably 2 lives tomorrow. The return of the Graph and Wasted Show, Wasted and Graph Show will be tomorrow. And, yo, to everybody, Happy New Year, man. It is going to be a celebration. You guys have a terrific, great, and powerful night. You bunch of effing bums. Love every single one of you. You guys are talking about Reggie. You love it. If the draft went like that, I'm going to be pissed. You would love it, Scooby. You would love it. You love both drafts, you effing bum. I'll see you guys tomorrow, yo. And listen, my mock drafts are goated. You know it. No one gives a F what you guys want. And anybody who doesn't like, you guys have a freaking terrific night. F every single one of you. Good night.